let's talk about, you're going to need to explain that. Let's talk about the simple soar. Thursday, Saturday, a bunch of people built sailplanes. I should say Saturday. Thursday's group, you'll be finishing yours up, hopefully, this coming Thursday. And so with that in mind, anybody here got theirs to fly? I'm looking at, let me look at the attendees. All right. I don't know if we have anybody here that was here Saturday that could have flown theirs. Abigail was. Did you end up flying yours? Did anybody fly theirs? If just in case it was too windy for you, okay, great. Well, let's remind you about the balancing here. So watch this, just a couple minutes. Then we're going to see the end of this, and I got another video watching these things really start soaring. All right? Oh, I just messed that whole thing up. Shoot.
The glider nose, the balance point is not going to change one bit. We use a 1000 milliamp or a 500 milliamp all the way at the very front to balance this out. Now, never take that for granted. Always balance the plane out with your very own equipment, as it does not change. So if you have the glider nose on there and you notice you need a little bit more weight or a little less, always go by those rules. Don't go by our battery specs because everyone's equipment's different. Everyone uses a different amount of hot glue. All right, we're going to put the glider nose back on, balance it out, and test it out. We're going to fasten on our wing. Just simply push it up against the glider pod, and 4 rubber bands is plenty.
We do need to put that little piece of wood maybe to help that.
But you don't want so many that if this cartwheel's against the ground, that the wing doesn't move for you a little bit. That's one of the nice benefits of rubber bands is it absorbs a lot of shock. All right, we're going to make our battery connection, and we're going to check our balance. Now, on the bottom of the wings, you're going to see 2 laser cut holes. That's going to be where your CG is going to be.
Make sure you put your fingers in those laser cut holes. Yours is going to be tail heavy because they expect you to put a motor prop, and all we were doing is trying to make a hang glider, so you're going to need to add weights. One person I talked to just said he added 6 quarters. All right, but watch this.
You're going to always want to make sure when you check your CG that it's just a touch nose down. So put your finger on those 2 holes. Make sure that your nose dips slightly down. I'd much rather fly a plane that's overly nose heavy than a plane that's overly tail heavy. You're not going to have good rudder control, you're not going to have good stall performance, and you're not going to have a really good flight experience either. So always make sure your nose is slightly down, especially with the CG references I tend to give. If you balance it totally neutral, you're probably going to be a touch on the tail heavy side. So just like there is perfect. All right, our last step is to check the throws.
All right, and then he's going to go ahead and fly it. Let's go.
And we're going to go out and fly. Now, if you looked at the servo positions I did, most likely you're going to be in great shape. But go out for our maiden.
Watch.
All right, friends, we are ready for the maiden of this, the maiden glide that is. I want to sincerely thank you for following along with this build. I sincerely hope you try it. Also, the speed build kit is available at the store. The first 250 do get the glider tow release as well. And by all means, please post your comments, videos, also future requests. This is entirely requested by you. That's what made the challenge, and that's what made this happen. So, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and give this a launch right now.
All right. Hey, I want to say I had a request for someone to join the webinar, so let me see if I can find the invite on this anymore. Invite. Oh, email invitation. Okay, I'm going to show you another one. Just bear with me 1 second, folks. Whoops. No, no, I don't want this. This is pretty sweet. Watch this. This is pretty cool. Watch that while I try to help this other guy out. I'm going to turn the volume down just because I don't know if this is cut. I don't want to get in trouble on copyright here. But you can see it. Look how high up. And a lot of that is simply the winds coming out those mountains. How cool is that? All right. You can see. So look how pretty that is. And what's great is once the power's up, you wouldn't even need the prop on this plane. With the right lifts that are coming out the mountain, so you can almost surf it. The plane will actually stand straight in the air because the wind's blowing over the wings, the plane's going forward, and it just surfs. It doesn't go up or down. It looks really, really cool. Let me see if we can get some more. See the audio. And you sometimes can fly him too, so he's bringing this one back around. Look at that, edge of that. Oh, that's pretty sweet. All right. Okay. Any questions about those two things? All right. All right. Now, what I would like is we're going to talk to that. We may get into this worst aircraft design. Tom Detroit is probably going to talk to you about gliders. We get into that and do some design. Yeah. Mateo, we just talked about, did you fly your plane? Real curious. Were you able to fly your plane? We may or not even get into worst aircraft. Next Wednesday, Tom will probably go over sailplanes with you. But in that lesson, I'm going to sit and talk to you about form versus function. I don't know. I don't see your answers, so I don't know if you flew yours or not. Make sure you balance. The tail snapped off. Oh, we glue it back together. Make sure you balance it. Sorry about that. The good news is it's foam and hot glue gun, so you'll be able to fix it. All right, so what I want everybody to do is go ahead, if they would, go into aircraft. Let's do file, quick flights. Go into X-Plane 10. So Tacoma Narrows where we've been flying. This time, since we've flown a Cessna one time, to go to Columbia 400. General aviation airplane, and then just hit fly with these options. Now I was already in that option, so I'm going to be out here. So raise your hand once you're there. If you can't get there because your computer can't watch this and do that, let me know. Mateo, you should be all set. You're registered now. You should be registered for the rest of them. Raise your hands once you've got them, guys. I know those always take a few moments. So Abigail's on there. Again, I'm going to hit Shift F8 to look around the plane. I'll try. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oops. And this is what it looks like. Beautiful airplane, Lance Air. I've flown in one. Once you'll raise your hand once you get there. Again, you're going to go up to File, Quick Flight Setup, Tacoma's 400 HC. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead just because we're never going to get anywhere if we're going to go out here. All right. So you can take that Columbia. I'm going to go back to my previous flight. And there he is. There's the plane. This looks, while it's slimmer and trimmer than that Cessna 172, look, the wing's fairly thin. fixed landing gear, about a 30-foot wingspan. All right, it's general aviation airplane. Going in flat, so what I would do is go in and let's do location, select global map, do final approach 3 nautical miles. I'm gonna go and try landing it now. And that's what I want to do with each one of these planes so you can see how they fly differently. Not good speed, but it handles pretty quickly. I'm coming right up on it. See if I can look at my line. On this plane, I can never get down to, for whatever reason, I can't look down on the cockpit on this plane. But there we go. Landing's up. I'm a little low. I'm a little low coming in because I'm still red. That might have been a little bit too soon to hit the throttle, so I'm going to hit the throttle. All right. Now it's telling me I have 500. I've cut the main engine down to nothing practically. My main engine's right over there. RPMs. Good glide slope. Left, white and red lights are on there. Says I'm a little low. I don't mind being a little low. I'm close to the runway. At this point, notice I'm just going to pull it back. It's a little more. Little hard. Probably could have bled off a little more air, put on some flaps. There I am. Plenty of runway left. There we go. Now it's engine's pulling over a little bit. There I am. Hope no smoke out. Let's see how well I wrecked the airplane. Let me see if I hurt my airplane. No. All right. So that flies, honestly, a lot like a 172. Probably should have put some flaps to slow myself down on the approach, but all good, right? Okay. So everybody do that, and then let's go back to this flight. Let's open an aircraft now, and then let's look at a glider. All right, HSYEOT21. Let's open the aircraft. Look at this right off the bat. Look, not much in it, is there? This is telling you total energy. This tells you if you're gaining or going up or going down as well as up there, but it's really giving you kind of an energy read. Not sure. I'm going to need to look that instrument up to see how it works. Here's your airspeeds. Look how much slow. It's just 40, 60. Really no flaps to speak of here. Compass, altimeter. About as basic as you get. I want to start, if I have family members moving back, son moves back, I'm going to start flying again because I'll have someone to go flying with. I may start flying gliders just for laughs and giggles. I think they're fun. So here I go. I'm going to go to aircraft. All right. I'm going to, but let's go location, select global map, 3 nautical miles. I'm putting everybody's hands down. Get it so your glider comes up here now. All right, we're paused. I'll wait till I see some hands so I know other people can, so you can see it. Go ahead and bring up your glider. All right, we got some. Raise your hand. Let's go. Let's go through and fly this, guys. All right, we got some hands raised. So, and you can practice one because this is going to fly a little differently. So I'm going to unpause this. All right, first of all, you notice there's no change in the throttle on this. All right, the only way we can do things, changing our airspeed, isn't pumping throttle. It's just simply gliding the whole way. So first of all, notice how slow we're going. And this is flying fine. I'm way above it. So if I want to get... So I'm going to sit there and point my nose up, which is hopefully going to start... I'm bleeding my airspeed down. See what I'm doing? So I'm controlling this all through airspeed. In some ways, it's a little bit harder. Because I worry that I'm going to... There's a technique called crabbing, which I can't do it without really rudder pedals for me. I'm going to pull it right up here. I'm going to keep the nose back. Whoa, baby. Whoa, I got a little out of control there. Let's get her back over here. Look, let's fly back over here. I'm having a heck of a time landing this. Because this thing doesn't really want to sink. So now, luckily it's a glider, so we can. I'm pointing the nose down a little bit, but see the problem you have? Now I can't really slow it down and get my ground going, but now I'm really picking up some airspeed. I'm stalling it. See how I sunk down? See if you can land it. It's not. I go right into a stall here. This is where I would like to be able to crab this thing because I don't think I'm going to land it very well here. That little... Oh, I'm falling out of the eye. I'm making myself sick here and I'm not landing on the runway. They would never let me come back to this runway if they saw me land like this. I think I'm going to need the farthest one I can get. Now I'm just going to take it down here and hope like heck. I'm not lined up straight at all. I would be crunching my right rudder pedal right now and rolling this thing a little bit. Gonna come in a little hot here. Funny, I'm gonna land this at a faster speed. And the reason being is I'm not landing this properly. There's a particular way you land with a glider that allows you to drag off speed. Look at that. There's no stopping. Will I make it to the end of the runway? We will find out in one moment. We've got a shot here, I feel like. All right. Well, that was a poor way to fly. I landed, but that was terrible flying. I don't want you to think. So everybody try it. You'll see it's a lot harder. We just got to teach you the technique. You would turn your, it's called like a crab motion. Let me see if I can figure out a way to describe it. Let me see if I find a video of one. Sometimes you see it in crosswinds. Hold on, that's not fine. But you can see the glider. In fact, I'll show you that. In fact, let's pull this up. But you can see there's the trade-off. This plane has really long wings, so does it have high or low aspect ratio? Does it have high or low aspect ratio? Well, I hope you're thinking it's got high, Mr. Dubik. So it has tons and tons of lift because it doesn't have a motor. So if you go around it, it really doesn't have a motor. So the only thing keeping you in the air are the wings. So you have to have lots and lots of lift. And that's what you did. Is it practical to go far? No. First of all, it doesn't fly very fast. Second of all, you got to depend on thermals and things. Now, if you ever get a chance to fly in one, do it because it's one of my favorite ways to fly because it's so quiet. Okay? And if we want, let me see. Let me look right here. How much time we got? We got time to show you that? I'm hoping so. There's a video on how to land a sailplane. And if we have time, we'll go to that. Let's go to the next airplane. I think that probably is a little bit smarter for you to try these. As everybody, how many people landed their sailplane? Raise your hand. Harry did. All right, got some folks. Okay, great. So here's the next thing. We're going to open the aircraft. We're going to select. Now, if a glider is at one end, let's look at heavy metal. Let's look at a 747 at one time. Pretty big airplane. A very big airplane. They just recently stopped making these. All right, again, notice the avionics in these things are rather simple. This is where you talk to the, click this button to talk. There's your aileron trim is right up there so you can see it. A lot of switches and things. Let's go up in the air. Do final approach. Put everybody's hands down here. All right, so here we are. I can't even see. I'm gonna put my nose down a little bit. I'm coming up to land. Now, a couple things I want to do. Don't forget your gear, Tom. I did that last time. So my gear's going out, which might have been a little early, but that'll slow me down some. I'm a little bit high, so I'm on that. I'm doing at full flaps. Now it's a stall warning, tell me. Pull up. It's warning me. We're all right. 400 feet off the ground. Shot. Look how fast I'm still going. So I'd run off this runway. So let's look at my airplane. I'm hitting the brakes, but this is why they use air brakes. They put them up here. That you hear that noise when you land on an airplane, and they'll go up front to slow it down. So you just try to use regular brakes on this plane, that runway isn't long enough. Now my landing was actually pretty good, but it wasn't long. You would have to deploy, my flaps fully open, I need to deploy air brakes. All right, go ahead and practice that for a little bit. So this one, the glider, has so much lift, it doesn't want to land. This one, you got to go so fast. But look at this airplane. Great big wings, but they're not the high aspect ratio wings of the glider. They're fatter wings. 4 engines on it. It's all to get the power going. It's to get there faster. To get enough lift on those wings. It's going to get enough lift, but not by making the wings longer, but by moving the plane faster. Look at the bottom fuselage, so lots of people can go on it. This is the cockpit right here of the plane. I mean, it's tiny. All right? So go ahead, look at that. Right, raise your hand once you've done those. Make sure you put G down for gear. Once you've landed that one, raise your hands, guys. All right. Folks, we only got, all right, we got a couple here. Come on now. See if you can land it. You'll see, with every one of these planes, there's these trade-offs. This plane takes, well, one, expensive making that airplane, but you can imagine the fuel that it uses compared to, to a regular airplane is tremendous. But you can get a lot of people there a lot faster, go a lot further. Let's go to the next of this. All right, so we've looked at that. We've looked at gliders, general aviation. Now let's look at something like a fighter. So here's a Phantom jet. Again, look at this one. We do Shift A. If you look outside it, look at it. Short wings. Which one thinks turn faster? This, or that 747, or the sailplane? Clearly this does. Little tiny wings. The back wings got a lot of surface area, I will say on that. And look at the monster motors off the back of this. All right. Designed to be maneuverable, designed to be fast. It's going to stay in the air by just beating the air into submission with power. All right, so go ahead and land this aircraft. Go location, global airport, final approach. So here you go. Pause it. I'm coming in, set up pretty well. Notice how narrow everything is in a fighter aircraft. Not a lot of space. Right there I can see my vertical speed. Tells me if I'm climbing or not. But just looking at that gauge all the time, it's right there for the pilot. Over up there's the compasses. Everything's really, the most important things are very clear for me to see. Now it says I'm a little low. I'm going to go ahead. I don't want to be a little bit low. I'm going to start trying to cut the speed down. Time to put some gear down. So now it's now red and white. I'm in pretty good shape here. If anything, I'm a little above it, so I'm going to hit F2 and lower the speed down some more. F1. I hit the wrong speed. It should have been F1. I'm a little hot. I hit the speed over and I just crashed the airplane. Mr. Dubik had a very bad day. All right. Short, fast, responds really quickly. You need to be careful on it. All right. Go ahead, try landing this one. Again, this is meant to be fast and maneuverable. There's the shape of it. All right, folks, it's 8:53, so I want to get through some other things here. Now, if you all watch this, open another aircraft. Here's a seaplane. Okay, get your all attention, please. Here's a seaplane. It's really aimed for what it does. You can, first, see it right in the water. Shift A. There it is. Rocking in the sea here. There it is. Anchor deployed. That's pretty cool. Let me unpause it. I just pulled the anchor up, apparently. Bob in the ocean. Props are above. Keep them out of the water, right? Wheels in case you can't. You got to land somewhere else. A very cool airplane designed to be a floating boat. We used to use that design a lot more before World War II. The idea was there wouldn't be a runway. The planes wouldn't necessarily be able to travel to. As it went across the world, there wasn't going to be runways everywhere. So the idea was you could land on water and boat in and out. After World War II, planes got the range that they didn't really need. So you really don't see a lot of flying boat designs anymore. You might see them between island hopping and stuff where it might make sense. But most of the time, the planes are big enough they can fly to a runway. And they're fast enough. But clearly, the function of that is to be like a boat so it can land on the water. All right? And what's really cool to me, I was showing this earlier. Let me get it back up here. Is if you look at World War I bombers and flyers, here's a World War I airplane. That's a bomber. You can tell right now it's not an attack. It's big. Kind of, you can see the person in front of it. Big wingspan. Look how the rudder control. They were trying to overcome some problems they had there. These were the great big airplanes of World War I. And you know immediately what was their role. Taking people or bombing things. Whereas if you look at World War I fighters, small, just like that Phantom we just saw, or a modern jet. All right? Here's a Bristol. Again, shorter wingspan, can turn tighter. You know, here's a plane that could do loop-de-loops pretty well. The Sopwith, you had the Sopwith one. You did. This is. Let me see. I'm trying to get some. There's a whole group of them, but you can see from these pictures, they're all really the basic same idea. Short wingspan, heavy wing loading, so the weight on the wings. Be very maneuverable. Be very fast. All right, that's what you want to be. And fighters, you'll take it, right? And that's why general aviation planes, for the most part, look pretty much the same. Because the function follows, the form follows the function. All right? Any questions about that? Well, there it is. All right. Oh, this guy. This guy hit nose ground. It was easy to flip these things. Real easy, frankly. And not surprisingly, even today, that. Okay, good. This guy was okay. The one with the ambulance doesn't look good. That one crashed. Yeah, that's not good. So you can kind of tell too, some of these crashes, all that energy. Well, that's for an air show, probably going much faster. So, again, These planes, most people in World War I, by the way, were killed learning how to fly them. That's so dangerous the airplanes were back in the day. So if there's not any questions, what we're going to hit next time with me is we're going to go through aircraft designs. Lots of different really ugly, bad airplanes for different reasons. We'll do that next week as we look at, hey, not all airplanes we design are great. We'll talk about why they're bad. All right? Reminder to everybody, next Thursday, we have a lab for Thursday nights. On the 19th, that weekend, from 2 to 5, we're going to have an open lab. Come out. Hopefully, if anybody hasn't finished their glider by then, we can finish it. We can fly, depending on what the weather's doing. All right? Anyways, that's just an additional thank you. Hey, come on out and join us kind of lab. All right? I have Science Olympiad in the morning, so literally I'm going to conduct, judge a Science Olympiad event, then drive back to Latin, meet. All right? So, everybody, take care. Have a good night. Bye all.